Welcome everybody to CanHammer, your source for Age of Sigmar again, from the Great White North. Tonight we're going to open this sucker, which is the Soul Wars, otherwise known as AOS 2nd Edition Starter Box. I'm here with Phil.
Yeah. Oh, hey, hello.
And his kid, who wants to start a Seraphon army apparently.
Well, my two sons are going to have to fight over my Warhammer collection to see who gets what.
So this is the new starter box. It is literally like, I don't know, how heavy do you think that is, Phil?
I don't know.
It's very heavy. Mostly I think because of the rulebook, which is hard copy and like 500 pages or something. Awesome. But we're going to crack this open. I just picked this up from Multi-Zone, and so let's crack it open. Still wrapped. I like to have authentic unboxings, where clearly I haven't already pre-opened it. Now, obviously, we've all been following all the leaks and everything for the last few weeks, so we kind of know what most of the stuff in here. But it's always cool to open things up, isn't it, Art? Yeah, he's super interested in this. All right. So, like the Dark Imperium, this is kind of
slide out
like a sleeve. Is it taped? No, nope.
Snug.
It's just snug. It's just well made. There we go. Slides off. A few Seraphon die in the opening of this box, and there we go. Look at that.
Sweet.
Night Haunt versus Stormcast. Pretty sweet. And then there's like a little box insert here, which I think is all the models.
Whoa, cool.
Very cool. And this opens up like this. And indeed,
whoa.
Oh, it's well wrapped. Bubble wrapped and everything. Well, you have to bubble wrap with all this
all these spindly
Night Hunt, spindly, ghosty stuff.
I'm stealing these to look at. Yeah, you want to look at this too, eh, buddy?
So these are all easy press fit, right? Yep. It's like Shadespire.
Yeah. These are so nice. Look at this horse.
That's horse, like that dude on the horse. So this is all like easy press fit sprues. So you could probably put this whole set together in like 30 minutes. Very, very awesome.
A lot of sprues in there. Jeez.
Yeah. So I actually decided I'm not going to play any Night Haunt because it's a bit bandwagony right now for me, and I'm not a bandwagoner. Even though I play Death.
Warhammer hipster?
Death has been my army since the beginning of AOS, and it was never that good, and now everyone's jumping on the Night Haunt bandwagon. But I will keep playing Death, but just not Night Haunts. And here are the Stormcast guys. Pretty cool.
Sweet. What's this? I always forget, these are the robed ones, right? Like the...
dude, I can never keep track.
Decimate hers.
Yeah, oh, look at this guy with the big...
It's one of those griff chargers or something? Those griff,
sorry, it's a bit dark here, guys, but we're at Phil's house and he likes to live in the dark. But, yeah, pretty cool.
Sweet.
Where's the ballista?
Right there.
Oh, yeah. So this ballista is supposedly really awesome. And so I might just put that together. But apparently people are buying multiple starter sets just to get ballistas because you can't get them anywhere else.
Well, for now.
I'm sure they'll release them later.
That's an interesting... thing. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. That's super fun.
A lot of bases. You know how many bases I have at home? A lot.
Yeah. I'm short. Like if you have any
well, dude, I have
like the 25 mil ones. Like
I have bases of all sorts.
I have too many old fantasy models that I need to rebase.
Square base.
Yeah.
Whoa. Or they're trying to get bail. All right, here we go. So let's get rid of this. And then we have the rulebook.
The book.
Oh wait, look at this monster.
Cool. It's like the
oh my god.
like it went from, how big was the old book? The old book wasn't that big.
Yeah, and it's a female Stormcast on the cover, which is cool. And then also we have Battles of Glim's Forge.
Oh, that's all your data slates, your data cards, your
yeah, it's and the instructions.
Scenarios
for
scenarios for the armies.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. And then we have, this is just packaging. Oh.
Gaming aids.
Yeah, game aids. And then we got dice.
More bases.
We got some, oh, look at these bases though, Phil.
Well, that's for the Griff guy. And
yeah, interesting. special bases.
A little sample chapter of a.
Oh yeah, for this book. Do you read the books?
No time.
Like I read Horus Heresy,
No,
but
these
and then Ruler.
Decals for your songcast.
Decals. Okay, interesting. Game aids. Always like game aids. Okay, well, what we're gonna do, I think, is just have a quick look at the rule book. We're not gonna go over the whole rule book. The rule book is definitely longer than 4 pages now.
Yep. That was all
But if you just want the rules and not all the other stuff, you could just download it for free.
Well, this is what I'm curious about, because the one thing that I didn't pull the trigger on was this rule book, so I want to see what's inside, because I'm assuming most of the stuff that I need is going to be in the General's Handbook.
Like the actual rules you can download. I think this has scenarios and...
There's I think they mentioned that the magic items and the realm-specific spells are all in there.
Artifacts and stuff.
I think there's some stuff that's in this, so I have a feeling that
Alright.
if you want the whole thing, you gotta get it.
Move in a little bit, I think now that we don't have a massive box. Alright. Let's check it out. Oh, Phil's going to provide us a bit more illumination here. Oh, it's better than nothing. We can move over a little bit. All right, well, Phil, we're gonna answer your question very soon. Oh, that's nice. Cool. That's everywhere right now, right?
Archeon versus Sigmar.
All right, so we look at the contents. This is all fluff. Like I always like to do with my read-alongs. I like to tell people how many pages the book is. This book is literally 319 pages, and the rules start.
Probably even later than that. Yeah, this is all the stuff.
Start here, 224. So it's always 2/3 fluff, 1/3.
Yeah.
Like in every single codex, that's the same balance.
I think it goes into it probably goes into all like little blurbs on all the different factions and all that stuff.
Yeah. Tale of Eon. So basically goes over all the history of Sigmar.
This actually seems like something that I would want to read, because like I find like in the 40K books when I get them, like I'm so familiar with the fluff that I kind of don't bother reading.
Toilet book, man. Toilet book.
Whereas this is like
coffee table book.
Like all this fluff is recent, right? It's
people will come back in the
next 4 or 5 years. So.
Yeah, this is all new stuff, right? Like so the new maps.
I'm thinking this is already reason enough for me to get this book, because I'm kind of really curious about.
So multi-zone is parceling out the starter box if you don't want all the models, or if you just want the book, you can do that. So I'll just get in touch with Ben. But and it goes through all the factions.
The Deepkin.
And then lots and lots of pictures, so that you buy lots of models. Chaos.
Cool. So there's each faction, a little miniatures gallery for the factions.
Yep.
So all of your chaos stuff, your death stuff, your destruction stuff.
Yep.
Cool.
Very cool. Destruction.
Boom, splitters. And now we're into the...
All right, core rules, 3 ways to play. Most important rule.
Stuff like that's the General's Handbook 2017.
Yeah, so here are the core rules.
So you got your 6-7 pages now?
Measuring distances. So one of the big changes, of course, is finally they're playing base to base instead of measuring to models.
Yep.
And then the coherency, of course, is 1 inch and 6 inch like usual. And then one of the new things is that one thing you could do, you could hold a lot of space by taking off models, and then you couldn't move,
cut the middle chain.
Yeah, so now you have to pick one part of the unit that's become separate and take it away. You're dead. So you can't split your unit anymore. Yep, I think that's some of the big changes. Yeah.
I actually did not take a look at this yet. Like little fun stuff, like moving up and down.
So there's tiny little changes. The unit splitting thing is a big one. Movement over terrain, enemy units, retreating, flying. A lot of it hasn't changed. It's more like rules clarifications.
Yeah, it just makes it a bit more. So I find like early Age of Sigmar was very like do whatever you want and just be friendly. So I think it just
big change to the hero phase, command abilities. So now everyone can use a command ability, but it's going to cost you a command point. Oh, look at that! I like and that. So you get command point to at 1 command point every turn, and you get bonus ones per battalion.
Yeah.
And you also get bonus ones per 50 points under 2,000 points that you are.
So if you spend 50 points to get
Basically, yeah. Because sometimes in Sigmar you can't fill that 50 points, right? Because everything's 20, 40, 60.
But now you can.
But now you can just get a command point.
Or these command
Exactly.
points. So, yeah.
So then you just spend your CP to do abilities, and the abilities are like they changed inspiring presence, stuff like that. So one allows you to reroll your charge. One allows you to automatically advance 6 instead of D6. And one allows you to just not take battle shock. And you don't have to use them, like, so you don't have to give inspiring presence in your hero phase to somebody and then it never your opponent just doesn't shoot that. You can do it in the battle shock phase. Yeah. When you know somebody's going to die from
essentially like command points, like using
exactly, like just spending 2 CP.
Whatever,
yeah, exactly. Movement, I don't think that's changed much. And then obviously magic is a big change, which we'll come to in a different video. But so shooting, so you can't just randomly shoot anybody anytime now. If you're in combat, so if you're within 3 inches of somebody, you can shoot, but only that unit.
Oh, baby doesn't like. You don't like that change. You don't like that.
You don't like that. You like being able to take your Kurnoth hunters and shoot anything you want.
Yeah. No. Now you gotta shoot that's in your face, right? So.
Yep. And you can shoot at an enemy unit that is within 3 inches of another friendly unit. So you can shoot things that are in combat if you're not in combat.
Yeah, exactly. So it just gives you an incentive to tie up the gun line, which
that's
is
nice.
Right. So.
And then Lookout Sir. So they're trying to give characters a little bit more protection that might bite them in the ass if wizards become super, super powerful. But basically, if your hero is within 3 inches of an enemy unit that has 3 or more models and it's not a monster, then it's a -1 to hit that model.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other ways of making those tiers more survivable with the items and the artifacts and the spells. So yeah, you're looking at, not quite Hero Hammer, but maybe. So
yep.
I'm gonna go give you to your mom because you're starting to whine.
I'll carry on. So fighting is basically the same, except now you must fight. You can't pass anymore. So if you have an eligible unit, it has to fight. So no more just not fighting. And then Battle Shock is basically the same, except for the new split unit thing. So if your unit ends up split, you have to pick the half that dies. Otherwise, not much has changed there. And yeah, so the Triumph thing is no longer awarded for being under points, because now you get CP for that. The Triumph thing is really for like open play, campaign play. Okay, so wizards. Magic is going to be a big deal. With the malign sorcery, magic is going to be a big deal. I think you're only going to succeed in AOS 2.0 if you can cast and unbind. Now you can unbind at 30-inch range, so that's a much bigger range than before. 30 inches for the unbind. And Arcane Bolt has been nerfed a little bit, so still casting value of 5, 18 inches, visible unit, but it's only 1 mortal now.
Yeah, that's big.
Unless you roll 10 or more, then it's D3 mortals.
Which is also big.
Yeah, and Mystic Shield is no longer a +1 save because that's pretty powerful.
Yep.
It is now just a reroll ones. Yeah.
It was too easy to get like things with 2+ saves with Mystic Shield. And
like Nagash now with the cogs, 2+ save reroll ones. Woohoo!
Or Kurnoth Hunters and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Triumphs got nerfed. Basically, you don't use Triumphs anymore. And terrain, so new terrain rules.
Yeah, they're nice.
I don't know.
They're nice, punishing.
Do you think people are going to play with this?
You should play with the terrain. I've always said that, like even with the regular game, like terrain really mixes things up in a nice way. So because
we never played with it, so do you think it's gonna,
I would
be a thing?
Actually, like in the tail end of the last edition, we started playing with it all the time, and it was great. Like it really kind of adds a new dynamic. So I would recommend.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll certainly try it out. And then there's new rules about obstacles and garrisons, official in the rulebook, not on the data sheets for the terrain pieces, how to garrison something. And then the new battle plans, nothing much there. So, there's the new thing.
There's quite a few of them, yeah.
Yep, so there's new battle plans. I won't go over them all here, but basically there's new missions, basically. And of course you can pay any of the previous, 12 other missions. So it just keeps building. Ballot battalions and stuff like that, allegiance abilities, all those usual things are unchanged.
Reinforcement points as well.
Yeah.
Reinforcements. And this is interesting too. Like the wizard lords is going to be important because you can sort of theme your army around one of the realms to give them access to the items and the spells from that realm. So you can say that you're Sylvaneth army from Ghyran, so you then have access to the Ghyran artifacts and the spells. So it's a nice way of customizing your army a little bit more.
So artifacts is like before, you get one free one, and then if you have a battalion, you can get an extra one for a character. You know, allegiances are all the same. You can be as specific or as broad as you want.
This looks like...
So now we're getting on to...
Conquest Unbound.
Allegiance abilities.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Of which there's a lot. We're not doing like a full read along of this book because it's just way too much. And in fact, like there's actually way more factions in AOS than there is in 40k.
Like if you count all the sub factions, but like these grand alliances, like you've got your 4, right? And I'm sure they've been all tweaked. I haven't had a chance to look at them, but your basic artifacts and all that stuff, your chaos dudes.
Yeah. What I want to see is death. Let's look at death. Oh, look, it's one of the new models, the Lord Executioner. Deathless Minions is still the same. It's just a 6-up save, unfortunately. Ruler of the Night is the same. Yeah, so, you know, I don't think anything has really changed. We'll have to read it thoroughly, but...
yeah, sometimes there's just these tiny little adjustments that they've made on that
yeah,
stuff.
and
like,
you have to, like, read it
I'm curious
right
to see
through.
if, like, Battle Brew is still you know, nerfed in the destruction stuff, because apparently destruction players were thinking that there was a lot of nerfs to destruction that might have been a bit too severe, so maybe they cut back on some of that stuff.
To be honest, I don't feel like many people are going to be using their Grand Allegiance stuff
we're
now.
going into like the faction specific ones that have more flavors. So
okay, so this is a new thing, is
like
the
that.
new realms of battle. So you're supposed to pick a realm that you're playing on, and so the question is whether like tournaments will use this.
This feels like
because it can really sway the battle, right?
And I think it also it just complicates things a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I find like it's okay if you can use your spells and the items from the realms, like if it affects only your army, but having these, you could have like a few, but I think it adds another set of rules to keep in mind.
Yeah, let's just go through Shaiish as an example. So if you have in the realm of death and the realm of battle Shaiish, the wizards know the following additional spells: Pall of Doom, casting value 6, enemy unit within 18 inches, subtract 2 from the bravery. And realm commands, you can use the following command abilities in battles fought in this realm. And this is at both sides, I presume. So honor the dead. Friendly unit that is within 3 inches of a friendly hero or 12 inches of a general, roll a dice. If it's less than the number of models that you have been slain from that unit, you can add 1 to the attacks. Soul Force, use this command ability. If you do so, pick a general within 3 inches, allocate any number of wounds to that unit that you wish. You can heal 1 wound that's been allocated. Nothing too groundbreaking.
And then you have like all your
and then you have these realmscape features. The result applies to both players. Number 1 does nothing. Number 2, in every hero phase on a 6+ pick an enemy unit that takes D3 mortal wounds. Winds of Death in your hero phase on a 6+ pick an enemy unit roll for each model on a 5-up they suffer a mortal. Haunted Realm. Every terrain feature has the Sinister rule. I can't remember what that is, but Eternal War, add 1 to bravery characteristic of all units, or add 1 to all casting rolls. So, you know, like it's actually fairly balanced. There's nothing here that says if you're death, you get this.
I'd be curious, if you can you pick it, because sometimes you're you know, because it feels like it's like if Velvet's specific, the player that picks. So I'm assuming in how you set up your army, like it might be one of those things. If you go second, if you go first, the other player gets to pick the realm or something.
Sure, but I thought that if you played on the realm of death, you would have or maybe those are going to be on their individual data cards.
There might be something.
Yeah, because I remember like the Magma Dragon. If you're playing in the realm of fire, you do D6 instead of D3 or something. Yeah. Okay, well that's cool. So it's definitely worth playing a few. I don't know if it'll make tournaments, but there's a lot. Yeah, Realm of Shadow. Endless spells.
Predatory spells.
Okay, so what's interesting is, so this has endless spells in here, but then obviously there's a whole malign sorcery box.
Yeah,
so
it just shows
this is just basic rules, right?
And it just kind of gives you an idea of how to do it, and I think it gives you the war scroll for the Balewind.
For the Balewind, yeah.
So.
Okay, well let's go through it quickly. So endless spell. So these are the new spells that have the actual models, which will be in another video. All wizards in your army know the spell, so you have to buy it. They cost you points, but then you just cast it. It's not per time you cast. And the Balewind is no longer a terrain piece, now it's an endless spell.
Yeah.
And other endless spell models in the War Scrolls are in the Malign Sorcery book. Okay, endless spell models. They're not set up on the battlefield, it's only when you cast them, blah, blah, blah. Endless spell model cannot be attacked or affected by spells or abilities. It is a friendly model by all armies for any other rules purposes. Cannot be moved unless it's a predatory spell. In order to cast one, you have to have a model for the spell available that's not already on the battlefield. For example, if you have 2 Balewind Vortexes in your collection and both are on the battlefield, you cannot summon a Balewind Vortex until at least one has been removed.
So you can summon multiples of the same, multiple chromatic.
Depending on how many models you own.
Yeah, but you can, like I say, if you build a list and your buddy has the box and you're like, well, I need two Admiral Life Swarms, and your buddy might just. But I'm assuming you have to pay the points twice. So if you have if you have 2 models for a 40-point endless spell, you have to pay the points twice.
So a wizard cannot attempt to cast more than one endless spell in the same turn. So
a wizard cannot cast. So one wizard can't, but if you have
even if they are different endless spells. So that means Nagash can't cast 8 endless spells.
No, he can only cast 1. But if you have Nagash and another wizard, then you can cast 2 endless spells.
I wanted to just fill the board with endless spells. Yeah. Oh, that my whole army just falling apart.
Not today.
So predatory endless spells are the ones that move. And special rules apply. They are moved at the start of each battle round by the player who's going second.
Yeah, that kind of like gives you an incentive to sometimes not go first.
Yeah, and then
whoa,
you alternate, so you each move a spell starting with the player who goes second.
Arthur doesn't like predatory spells.
Yeah, predatory
he
spells.
Is a predatory spell.
He is a predatory spell. A player must pick an endless spell to move if any are available, but only predatory endless spells that have not yet been moved can be chosen. Blah, blah, blah. The distance moves on a War Scroll. They all fly. And once if it crosses the edge of the battlefield, it's automatically dispelled. The effects of the endless spell are resolved by the player who moved that model, so you kind of own it temporarily. Yeah. And you can remove an endless spell if it leaves the battlefield, if the wizard dispels it, or by some other method on the War Scroll. So you can attempt to unbind the spell when it's cast, like normal. You can also choose to dispel it at the start of your hero phase. If you attempt to dispel any spell, you automatically cast 1 less spell in that phase. So it takes up one of your casts to dispel. Yeah. And
that's an interesting mechanic, because then you kind of, if the other guy casts an spell and you waste a dispel on getting rid of it. Or
Yep. So 30 inches, like unbind range, 2d6, and you have to roll higher than the cast value, regardless of what was rolled when it was cast. And you can only, you can only attempt to dispel a model, an endless spell, once per hero phase. So you can't try and dispel the same spell multiple times. Interesting. Okay, the Balewind Vortex, we won't go over that right now. Okay, open play, won't talk too much about open play because we're matched play people. Narrative, we definitely won't talk much about narrative. Campaigns, siege rules, darkest depths, match play. Okay, that's what we're looking at, match play. Okay, so as before, so if we're looking at 2,000 points, 1 to 6 leaders, 3+ battle line, behemoths, 400 ally points. So I don't think that's changed. You pick your allegiance, blah, blah, blah. I don't think any of this has changed. Army roster, triumphs. Oh, okay. So you do get a triumph in matched play if you have less points.
Like the olden days.
And in the pitched battle, you also receive an extra command point for every 50 points not spent on units. And new battle plans. So new battle plans, Blood and Glory.
Yeah, these are long to go through.
Yep. Escalation. 3 places of power. Border War. Hey, these are the same.
But I'm sure they've changed a few things. Apparently,
have they? Gift from the Heavens.
Taken Hold.
Taken Hold.
These are the old ones. I think there's
these are all the old ones.
Yeah.
Okay, battle strategies. The following battle strategies can be used to determine the winner of war. Pick armies and set up terrain as described.
Oh, that's kind of a different. Let's say you can roll dice and generate like.
Oh, it's basically Maelstrom.
Yeah, basically.
It's Maelstrom, basically.
It's AOS Maelstrom.
Yeah, it's basically AOS Maelstrom. So there you go. I wonder if they're going to come out with battle strategy cards then.
Well, that's it, eh?
And that's it, man.
Oh, I thought they said artifacts and spells and other spells.
No, maybe it's in the General's Handbook.
Go back a little. Siege Warfare, Match Play. Yeah, I guess it's in the GHB. Cool.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a great like. I'm really curious about the fluff in it, so I feel like I'm gonna go and pre-order it now.
I think you only buy this if you want it for collecting purposes, because this is a nice book.
Yeah.
If you want to read all the fluff.
Yeah.
But if you just want the rules, and if you're not gonna play a Grand Alliance, then you don't really.
And I'm
need
sure
this book.
I'm assuming the Grand Alliance ones are probably in the GHB too. We're about to find out.
We're gonna find out. Okay. Well, let's just go straight on to that. We don't really need a separate video. So, okay, we're back. We've got the General's Handbook 2018.
The Troglodon.
And some kind of dinosaur. Troglodon?
Yeah, Troglodon. It's cool because he can dispel spells.
Cool.
At 30 inches now instead of 18.
Alright, let's crack it open. So, this is a softcover book, of course, and you know, if people want to know, it is 136 pages, so it's a decent sized book.
It's got your 3 ways to play.
Open play, no thank you.
Battles, all like, you know, it's all stuff.
Narrative.
Like all of this stuff is fun. I've done most of it in the previous handbooks, and they were just they're neat. But obviously, I think the bigger reason people want to get this is the match play rules or the match play stuff. Because these things are cool, like Gift of the Gods and the artifacts and everything is all really fun.
Match play games. Okay, here we go.
Same
so they go over the same thing again. It's basically the same that's in the match play section of the rulebook. They literally, like, even the same picture.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling
this is exactly the same. And so here they've listed out all 18 battle plans. So the original ones that are in the rulebook now as well, the ones that were in GHB 1, GHB 2, because this is GHB 3, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. So these are the ones that are in GHB 1. So if you want the original missions, they're in the corporate rulebook. This is GHB 1 missions, right? With this. Oh look, but they improved this.
This is the
most recent GHB. Yeah.
I remember Knife to the Heart Total Conquest. So this is from this General's Handbook.
Yeah. So if you remember this deployment map, it used to be curved.
Yeah, which was
right, which nobody ever did. So now they made it. Now they made it straight. Yeah. Duality of Death, Battle for the Past.
Yeah, they've all like tweaked them a little bit. Apparently they're quite fun. So.
Stir Strike, Scorched Earth. That's the one where you can kill the objectives. Yeah, and then so these are the new ones. Total Commitment, Focal Points. Cool. Better Part of Valor. Shifting objectives.
Seemed like there's gonna be a lot of tactical. Like, I mean, I always like the missions in AOS are always pretty dynamic, and I think they're quite.
Well, it looks like a lot of these have primary and secondary objectives, and different points scored for those. So that's interesting. This is primary and secondary objectives. Places of arcane power. So you have to hold things with wizards. Relocation orb. What the frick? Look at this. The objective relocates to a new position on the battlefield at the end of each battle round. Control of the objective is lost when it relocates. To determine the objective's new location, roll a dice, and this very complex map
like a bit
shows you where it goes.
That's interesting. Yeah, they always have that one that, like, I don't know, maybe like once you play it, it
becomes one that's really unruly to use in a tournament.
It's the one that when you roll it, you're like, let's just do another one tonight if you're tired.
All right, so here's Chaos, all the points. None of us play Chaos, so who cares?
Skaven.
Skaven.
I have Skaven. Oh, yeah, Packmaster, Help in Domination, they all went down. It's always like the star lets you know what changed.
Yeah, that's really useful. I wish they would do that for 40K.
But they don't tell you if it went up or down. It just says it's changed.
But it just tells you it's changed, which is great. Storm Fiends went down.
Did they split them in like all the different storm because there's like obviously like some versions of Storm
Clan
Fiend.
Skyer, Clan's Pestilence.
I just meant like if there's different versions of this, if they broke down the Storm Fiends into different. Oh no, it's still like flat because like the Warfire guys were better than the Rattling gun, so I figured maybe you'd give the Rattling gun a cheaper option. But no,
I don't know, man. It's all rats to me. All rats to me.
I want to see what's his face. Oh no, Master Clan. There you go. There he is. Thankwall. I want to see.
Thankwall, 400.
Yeah, just.
What was he before?
He was like 450, I think. Or 460. Okay. He was expensive.
And Archeon is 660. That's cheaper, I believe. And Varangard also a little bit cheaper at 280. I have those models. That's why I'm interested. But they're still in the box. Actually, no. Archeon's over there. Phil built it for me.
Did.
Forever to sit there on his desk, probably.
Let's see the great. All the Nurgle stuff is. The same, more or less, except these battalions.
Yeah, most of the battalions went up, I think, because they're going to give you command points. Yeah,
and I was looking at the funny like 3 Great Unclean one. I think it's Thrice-Fold Defilement was the. Yeah, I think that one went up. Yeah, it was really really cheap.
And this is nice too. At the end, there's a little table that summarizes who can ally with who.
Oh, maybe they've changed.
Yeah. So apparently, like the Pestilence can't ally with Nurgle anymore. Apparently.
No, they can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Before they couldn't. Yeah, before they could not.
Yeah, I don't know who told me that. Ever chosen any chaos.
Or look at maybe it's the other way around. Nurgle cannot go with Skaven. That's the thing. So Pestilence can go for Nurgle, but Nurgle can't
just
go
straight up Skaven.
Yeah. So Pestilence Skaven can go with Nurgle stuff. Yeah, but if you're Nurgle, you can't go.
Yeah.
You can't ally with just any Skaven, right?
Death. Alright. I'm semi-interested in death, so let's see what's happened. So the Ghoul King went up, apparently, so any caster probably went up because of all the spell stuff. So despite Flesh Eaters not needing points increases, Ghoul King went up, Crypt Haunter Courtier went up, but the gas didn't, so yeah, and none of the other stuff went up. And then all the battalions went up. So Ghoul Patrol is now 180, which is crazy. All the other battalions went up. Horrors didn't go up again, but they went up last time. So anyway, that's death. That's Flesh Eaters. Almost nothing in the death changed, except Blood Knights went up. They're 240 now. And the battalions all went up. So nothing else changed points in death, which is interesting. Nagash is still 800. Yeah, Black Coach went up, but that's about it. Everything else
I think Black
stayed
Coach
the
is
same.
a new model too, isn't it? Like they have like a.
They're going to bring out a new model, apparently. It hasn't been leaked yet.
But I haven't seen the.
Yeah. So just looking at the allies is interesting. Night Haunts can basically almost ally with anything, and most death can ally with Flesh Eater Courts. And yeah. So I guess they just want everyone to play Night Haunts because that's all their new models.
Yeah, the Stormcast of Death.
Yeah, it's the Stormcast of Death. Yeah, Destruction with less gold. Okay, Destruction. A lot of stuff went down for Destruction. All the Thunder Tusks and everything went down.
I got my because Beast Claw. That's my.
Yeah. So Thunder Tusk. So Frost Lord on Thunder Tusk 420. How much was that before?
Frost Lord on Thunder Tusk before was 460.
Yeah, so that went down 40 points, right?
Yeah, that's nice.
All these Husk Guards and stuff all went down.
Mornfang stayed the same, which is good. They're pretty decent.
Yeah, the battalions went up, obviously.
Yeah, let's see. The one that I like is the Uralbad at 170, and it used to be 160. So
no, it's 160. Uralbad or Uralbad?
Yeah, Uralbad. Yeah.
Oh, Uralbad.
Yeah, 170. It went up by 10 points.
Yeah,
which is like it's still totally worth it. So
yeah,
I like that Uralbad. Cool, man.
Apparently, a lot of the orc stuff came down.
Here, I needed to take a picture for a friend of the Iron Jaw stuff.
Okay. So all the Boar Boys and stuff, Arrow Boys and stuff went down. I think Arrow Boys went down.
This is the Cunning Ruck.
And you can no longer take as big units. And Cunning Ruck and stuff like that all went up.
Yeah, because that was like...
Yeah, so they the whole Arrow Boy Cunning Ruck thing did get nerfed a little bit more.
There you go, Iron Jaws.
Iron Jaws.
Let me see if I can get this.
So Gordrak went down again, 580. He's getting to the point where he's going to hurt you. for not that many more
You
points.
said 4. You said how much?
580 now.
580. Whoa, he was 620 before.
Yeah, so we went down 40
points.
points. The Mega Boss is down to 440. And like our boys, Brutes didn't change. Our boys got cheaper, but all their battalions went up a little bit too. Grots. Fungoid Cave Shaman. Apparently good. Okay, and none of the spider dudes changed at all. Okay, so order. I don't know much about order, but
we want Seraphon and Sylvaneth.
okay, where's the Seraphons? Daughter of Cain.
Yeah, it's at the end.
So Daughter of Cain, they just came out, so nothing changed, but their battalions did go up, which is interesting because it literally just got released, right?
Yeah, I think they just realized that these
Eldritch Council, Free Peoples, Fire Slayers came down again, but their battalions went up. And then Deepkin didn't change at all because it literally just came out. Karajuns all went down. They were certainly not as strong as everybody thought they were when they first saw it all coming out, eh?
Yeah, there's some nasty tricks, but I mean, yeah.
And then Frostar Phoenix,
Yeah.
280. I don't know how much it was before.
Let's find out. It's in the Phoenix Temple.
Phoenix Temple. Yeah.
Frostart Phoenix was 240.
Oh, so that went up 40 points.
Yeah, still probably worth it because it's quite a good.
Cribdis.
Seraphon.
Oh, here's Seraphon.
Did the Troglodon go down?
Troglodon 160.
Ooh, it was 180 before.
It went down. Stegodon 220.
240 before.
Okay, nothing else really changed. The Source.
I think Old Blood probably went down.
Source Guard 90.
Source Guard 90? Yeah, they're down. They're 100.
Skink 60.
Oh, they were. Oh, did they get cheaper? No way.
They changed
Did
60.
they get? Let me see. Skinks. Oh no, Skinks were 60. Yeah, 60 to 20. 60 to 200 for the big unit. Oh, they got rid of that because you don't get the big discount anymore for the big unit except for the Source Warriors.
Oh
That's
yeah, you got to pay for your chaff now.
But yeah,
and all the battalions probably went up a little bit.
Source Knights are cheap. Oh, are they cheaper? Because I've got like that giant pile of Source Knights there. Yeah, they're 90. They used to be 100. So.
Okay, so there's no faction in 40k or AOS more confusing to me than Stormcast.
The names of the characters.
So let's see, we got Knight Azuros, Knight Heraldor, Knight Incantor, Net Questor, Nesvenator, Vexilla, or Ziffer. Then you got the Lord Aquilar, Arcanum, Castellant, Celestant, different from Castellant, Exorcist, Ordinator, Relictor, Veritant. Then you have Concussors, Decimators, Desolators, Decimators and Desolators, Evocators, Farstriders, Fulminators, Judicators, Prosecutors, and Protectors.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Retributors, Sequitors, Tempestors.
Yeah.
It is really, really confusing, and all the models look pretty much the same.
Yes. Except some are on
Chocobos, but that's about it, right? It's so confusing.
Oh, yeah. Two North Hunters landed where I thought they would. They're 200, which is good because they were 220. They used to be 180. They went to 220, which was too much.
So they're in the middle now.
is fine.
Durthu 380.
Spite Revenants are also cheaper. Yeah, Durthu was 400.
And
I think 20 points seems to be their sweet spot household.
And apparently now the woods block line of sight.
Yeah, that's cool. And the woods are actually still 1 to 3 Citadel woods. Yeah, okay, that's changed. Minimum, maximum. Honor is cool. Everything's. I'm curious about oh, there you go. I want to see if Sylvaneth can. Oh, Sylvaneth can ally with Deepkin.
With Deepkin, oh.
Cast and Wonders.
There you go.
Cool. I was
gonna
actually
get deep into Deepkin.
This is totally a gateway drug for me because I was like, oh, I want to do Deepkin, but not a full army. I hope they have and Seraphon are only with Stormcast Eternals as they used to be, but this Deepkin and Sylvaneth thing could be quite fun. Oh, I could put the Eidolon in my. Oh no, I think they changed the Eidolon's points so that you can't just take him as an ally because he used to be pretty awesome. What's his name? Eidolon of 420 and 440. Yeah, you can't take him as an ally. They just like bumped him out of ally range.
So here we have other stuff that's in other boxes. So the Blight War stuff, General's Handbook units, Malign Portents guys, like the Fungoid Shaman, Knight of Shroud, stuff like that. Here are the points cost for the Malign Sorceries. So the most expensive is the Big Purple Sun, 100 points. This probably takes it out of contention. But most things are anywhere from 20 to 60 points. It's all pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And almost always you have like 20 to 60 points left over when you make an army, right?
Hey, Shadespire units, that's cool.
Yeah, so here are all your Shadespire units.
Oh, and Riptooth comes by himself, too. You can just get him on his own.
Yeah.
You get Spikeclaw or a Spikeclaw Swarm. You can get a few of these characters, you get them separately. You can just take Spikeclaw alone, or you can take his Swarm.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Might be interesting just to look individually if it's worth taking like one of those guys.
Yeah, might be.
Conquest Unbound.
Hey, notice how they actually don't have the, these are like...
Scenery War Scrolls.
Cool.
It's funny how it's just literally, it is this and then empty.
Yeah, some of them don't do anything. The runes don't do anything. Oh, that's fun.
Citadel Wood. Oh, let's check it out. Okay, so models are not visible to each other if an imaginary straight line, 1 millimeter wide, drawn between the closest points of the two models crosses more than 1 inch of the base of the Citadel Wood. This scenery rule does not apply if either model can fly.
Oh, either model. Okay, so if you have a fly, you can still get them, but...
No. Either model. Yeah.
So like if you have a unit that flies, you can shoot inside the woods. So we can have a.
If we got the wood here, let's get a couple of models.
Here's a skink.
So they can't see each other if you draw a line between them.
They don't shoot, but here's a storm
crosses over more than 1 inch of the base.
So like
this would be blocked.
Yeah.
This would not be blocked.
Yeah, because you're inside.
This would not be blocked.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only.
This is definitely blocked.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to be in the wood, right? It's just like a block of blocking.
Yeah, it's LOS. This is huge, and you know what this does?
I think this makes Sylvaness pretty hardcore, but it also blocks your hunters.
Like, that's the thing, because you can't shoot out of it. But what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to take in my Seraphon list, I'll put my slant inside, which I don't care, because I can then have all these like skinks and troglodytes outside. He can draw line of sight through them, so he can still cast spells without.
Dodgy, Phil.
Yeah,
that sounds abusive.
But you can, whenever you cast a spell, you can take some mortal wounds. But hopefully your slant
sounds abusive.
So, love it.
Sounds
buy wood
abusive. Okay.
Mausoleum, Shirax Spine. So yeah, these are.
Oh, okay. So the mausoleum actually counts as a gravesite for a Death Army.
Cool.
Interesting.
I bet you they have rules for my giant castle up there that.
And you can garrison the mausoleum.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and this big ass thing.
Yeah, which I have one of those.
War Squire Citadel scenery rules. Any heroes from your army garrisoning this building can use the Azurite Realm Stone. On a 2+, add 1 to the number of command points you receive. That's pretty sweet. Domed Arcanoscope. Anyone in the Arcanoscope can unbind a spell like they're a wizard. Cool. Cool.
Now, are there the other allegiance abilities?
I wanted to buy one of these. Then
so
A, I saw the price tag, and B, I'm like,
are they expensive now?
I'm never gonna paint that.
Yeah, I painted. Mine took a while to paint. Yeah.
Oh, new summoning rules. Okay, let's check it out because this affects me. Okay. Battle Tome.
Corn. Yeah.
So it's specific. Okay,
so
yeah, because every army has their own way of summoning. Okay. Fine. Ever chosen.
Chaos.
Seraphon.
Screaming Bell has a thing. Seraphon.
Okay, let's look at Seraphon.
Engine of the Gods has a thing.
On the Engine of the Gods War Scroll, change the result of 14 to 17 on the Cosmic Engine as summon a unit from the list below to the battlefield, add it to your army. Summon unit must be set up wholly within 12 inches of this model, 9 inches of an enemy.
Go.
Choose a unit from the following list: 20 Skinks, 10 Saurus Warriors, 3 Ripperdactyls, 3 Pterodons.
Cool.
These spells are no longer in use. So
all
the War Scrolls have lost their summon spells. That's it. So is that good, bad, or?
That's fine. I mean, because the Engine of the Gods has this spell that lets you use stuff. Now you can actually use it, because before you wouldn't use that spell. So yeah, it's great. It's one more thing.
Okay.
But he's the only thing that can summon? Oh no, there's still like, I think we'll see the rest too. Yeah, Alariel used to be able to, she actually can summon any of this once per battle, which is great.
Once per battle in your hero phase, instead of using the ability to heal, you can summon 1 unit from the list below.
I'd pick
20 Dryads, Hunters, 10 Tree Revenants, 3 Hunters, 1 Branch Witch, 1 Tree Lord. Just for free. Boom.
Yep.
Branch Wraith. If successfully cast, you can summon a unit of 10 Dryads and add it to your army. Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like that's the thing. They're all useful now. There you go. And that was
Hey, how about death?
I think you already got your book. Your book with the grave sites, right? So there's a lot of the spells refer to specific.
So I have to go back to that book.
Yeah.
It's not all reprinted for me, so I don't have to look back at old books.
It's basically it tweaks stuff from like I like how they even have the dates. So like oh cool like.
So this is the book you need, Phil.
Yeah,
with all the points, all the allegiance abilities, artifacts. Okay,
but not so far. Not the.
Let's go to what you want to see.
Dispossessed. I need to take a picture for the of the destruction stuff too when it shows up.
Oh, okay. Fire Slayers.
Oh, there you go. The lodges are updated.
Seraphon.
This one. I'm gonna take a picture of this.
Masters of Order. Slan wizards can attempt to unbind enemy spells that are cast anywhere on the battlefield.
Whoa.
Abusive. In addition, if the casting roll for a Slan wizard is 10 plus and the spell is successfully cast, you add 6 inch to the range.
That's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet.
Doesn't matter if they're in the wood, then you can't see. So.
But don't you surely have to choose your spell that is within range before you cast it? So how does adding 6 after you cast it?
Look at the rules. Maybe it's like you roll it and then you see if it goes off and then you pick a target. You know, kind of like how in AOS you roll the charge before you charge and then you see how many inches you get and then you get to pick your target afterwards. So maybe that's you roll, see if it's cast, then you pick your target. I don't know.
So, Lord of Space and Time. In your hero phase, pick a friendly Seraphon unit, and 1 to 2, they can't move or charge. Oh, so you put them anywhere you want.
Before I think it was just on the 1.
It always says that. Okay, and then 3 and 4, it gets to Deep Strike basically, but can't move. And 5 and 6 is you can move after Deep Strike.
This is pretty scary. Like
hardcore.
having
33% chance.
Yeah, but I mean, Seraphon have ways of rerolling dice, so you can use those for that.
Celestial Conjuration. You can summon units of Seraphon to the battlefield if you collect enough Celestial Conjuration points in your hero phase before attempting to cast a spell with a Slan. You can say it will carry out a conjuration instead. If you do so, you receive 3 conjuration points instead of casting the spell. And at the end of your hero phase, you receive 1 if your general is a Slan and is on the battlefield, and D3 if there are 1 or more friendly Saurus Astrolith bearers on the battlefield. So you can end up receiving a whole crapload of them.
Can you?
If you have 6 or more
it has to be a
points.
Slan general.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't have 2 Slans and then Slans.
If you have 6 or more conjuration points at the end of your movement phase, you can summon 1 or more units from the list on the right and then add them to your army. It costs a number of celestial conjuration points, blah, blah, blah. Summon units have to be set up within 12 inches of a Slan or an Astrolith bearer.
Yeah. So you can still summon spells. So you can basically forego 1 spell, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you give up casting a spell in order to conjure up yourself some points.
So let's say what's his face? Like Croak, he can cast 4 spells. You say, okay, I'll cast 3 spells, but one of them is going to be...
Yeah, but you summon them after the movement phase. At the end of the movement phase, you actually spend them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what any of these things are, but you can summon the Bastillodons.
Well, obviously Bastillodons for 24. I mean, that's hefty. But I think
Riperdactyl for 12.
You can do. Yeah, that's pretty all right. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably just like summon like those old blood source knights.
I don't know.
It gets pretty. Yeah, they feel like they're pretty aggressively pointed. I thought you could like spam stuff. But I don't think you could. You can summon all that much. We'll have to see. We'll have to
summon like a unit or
build
up.
Yeah, you can do like cool little things here and there. Oh, this is cool.
Command traits.
Artifacts of power.
Artifacts. Any of these interest you right now?
There used to be, I mean, the Slan ones were really good before.
You need to sit on the toilet for at least 3 hours to read this through.
General, Curse of Fates. Lures of Space and Time twice in each of your hero phases rather than 1. That was the one I always liked. And then these...
Okay, check this artifact out. Incandescent Rectresses. Roll a dice the first time a wound is allocated to the bearer that it would slay them. On a 1 to 2 to slain. On a 3+ it heals D6 wounds instead.
That's pretty sweet. That was pretty good before too. That's a new one actually, I think. Yeah, I mean it's all pretty sweet. I'm sure there's some good stuff in there. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about.
Oh, lots of war scrolls.
Yeah, but these are like the. Oh no, yeah, this one is like it's like one of those combination of.
Oh, okay.
No, actually no, never mind. Yeah.
Wanderers, Greyherds, Slanesh.
And they all have like their own summoning table.
Slaves to Darkness, Skaven's Pestilence.
Yeah,
Skaven's
Scryer. I used to I've used Scryer before. It's cool.
Flesh Eaters.
Your thing.
Phil loses interest immediately. Okay, so 6+ feel no pain, deathless minions, yeah, same as before, feeding frenzy. On a 6+ you get to pile in again, yep. And then you choose a grudge, yep. Same grudges, reroll run charge. Hit rolls of 1, target a monster. So I don't think any of this has changed actually. Command traits, Bringer of Death, Frenzied Flesh Eater, Majestic Horror. Completely delusional. Oh, that got nerfed in fact. So completely delusional let you choose a new delusion every turn. At the beginning of the turn, for whatever you thought you needed your guys to do that turn, now it's once per battle.
Whoa.
Nerf!
Womp womp. It was just, it was pretty amazing. I don't know why you would have picked anything else before.
Okay, Art of Flay Pendant is the same. Charge within 15 inches. Splinter Vein Brooch, Keening Bone. Grim Garland, subtract 2 from Bravery. Chalice, heal D6. And yeah, so no buffs for the Flesh Eaters. Iron Jaws, somebody wants to know about Iron Jaws?
Yeah. I'll have to take some pictures. I don't know what they do, but yeah, let's see if I can.
It's usually something like move an extra few inches.
Yeah, I think they're
because
like,
your army only does one thing, which is
yeah, but apparently they're from
people.
what I'm hearing is that the points seem like they weren't, like they kind of got they seem to have gotten the points according to Iron Jaw players. They got the points wrong. It feels like things didn't go down in point enough, or like things kind of broke even because some things went down 20 points, but other things went up 20 points. So you kind of still.
So how do I summon Flesh Eaters? Where's that covered in the rules now?
It's not in there.
No, it's just command traits and stuff, and it wasn't under this area here about summoning. So I don't know, like, where is that covered in the rules? It's not in the original Flesh Eater Court's tome. Anyway, I'll have to go back.
Yeah, you have to kind of take a look.
And that's it. That is literally the last page.
So you actually don't get the allegiance, the core allegiance abilities. You don't get them in this book, or the artifacts of like order. You get them in the other book. Because I thought you would still get, your order, order chaos stuff, but you don't. You get them in, which is kind of a weird call. It feels like you should have just all of them in here, but. Yeah, the other ones are in the core rules, so.
Yeah, so this is the Battle Realms.
Yeah, because you don't get your generic death order chaos in this. You get them in here.
Where are they?
They're later, I think. They're in like the match play section. They're towards the end, I think.
Allegiance ability.
So next page is where it starts.
No.
Before.
Oh yeah, here.
Yeah. So.
Order.
So you don't get them in here.
But people were like losing their shit about this stuff. Is it this that people were
I don't know.
on about?
I don't know.
Destruction.
So if you want to do like grand alliances, like the rules.
Yeah, but it's the same as it was before for death anyway. There's no difference. So.
There might be some subtle changes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I haven't played much Grand Alliance stuff since the game dropped.
Yeah.
So I will likely be playing one.
It's almost a little bit hard to keep track because some of the books from AOS 1 are still active, like the Death book.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean
it's not like 40K where they're releasing all new stuff.
All the you just adjust the points. All the rules are essentially the same for all your war scrolls. Those haven't changed. So.
But summoning, so.
Because like they specified like for Sylvaneth and stuff, like if it's like summon a new unit, then it's specified here. So if your death thing is just bring back a model with wounds, then you just bring back a model.
No, so a lot of the Flesh Eater guys have the ability to summon new dudes, command abilities, which you couldn't do before because they cost you points. So how do I do that now? Because it's not supposed to cost me points anymore, and I can use all my command abilities. So I can just use a command ability willy-nilly for 1 CP. Like it doesn't really specify.
It should be.
Because, for example, my Terrorgeist, Ghoul King on Terrorgeist, you could summon Courtiers, but I wouldn't do that because it cost me points. So now you're saying, like, in my hero phase, I can spend a CP and just summon a unit of Cryptors every turn? That would be sweet.
There's zero death in here. And it's not in your Blue Horror?
No, because that book was written well before they changed the summoning rules.
Lord Creech? I don't see anything. Summoning...
No, there's no death in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try and figure it out, but that basically is the core rulebook and the General's Handbook 2018. So yeah, let us know what you think of AOS 2.0. We're pretty excited to start playing it again. It will start appearing on the channel again. In fact, we have a big AOS game day planned in July. We're going to be showing a bunch of games that will come up on the channel after that. So thanks very much for watching this, and stay tuned for our quick look through the malign sorcery box.